Yeah, today we're about to start off with something new. We're about to go a little bit deeper now, because it's time for us to start moving deeper. Now, ladies, you should have already seen the videos from the past one. You should have already done your homework, because once we start going and start getting deeper, I don't want you ladies getting lost. So today we're going to talk about the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. Now, physics is very important to understand love. The reason why is because everything in this world is energy. Everything in this universe is energy. And once you understand energy, then you're going to understand the forces that's governing those energy. So that's important. So I want you ladies now to pay attention to this, because we're about to go to work. And we're going to talk about the 4 fundamental forces and how they impact your love life. And not only that, how they're going to help you to actually solve your love problems for life. So let's get going.
The 4 fundamental forces of nature are like the language between particles, allowing them to interact in complex ways. From atoms, to life, to entire galaxies. But imagine that you had a machine that could turn each of those forces off. What would happen? Force 1, the electromagnetic force. It makes opposite charges attract and like charges repel. So what happens when we suddenly switch it off? All atoms in the universe fall apart. Negative electrons are attracted to the positive nucleus, like planets orbiting the sun. But without the attractive electromagnetic force, electrons simply fly away. And with no atoms to provide structure, planets like the Earth would collapse under its own gravity. Stars would also collapse, but then violently explode as supernova, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes. Force 2, the strong nuclear force. The force that binds protons and neutrons together inside the nucleus of atoms, and also binds the quarks that make up protons and neutrons. So what would happen if we turned the strong force off? Well, the nucleus of all atoms would violently explode. Without the strong force holding the nucleus together, the electrostatic repulsion between positive protons would violently fling the nucleus apart like a tiny grenade. The neutrons and protons also break apart into a soup of individual quarks. The breakdown of the nucleus causes a universe-wide explosion of every moon, planet, and star. Force 3, the weak nuclear force. A nucleus needs roughly equal numbers of protons and neutrons to be stable. When this isn't the case, the weak force kicks in by changing neutrons to protons or vice versa. This process is key to nuclear fusion, the process which powers stars. So what would happen if the weak force stopped? Well, actually, not much, or at least not right away. The sun would immediately stop producing energy in its core, but it would take at least 10,000 years for that energy to reach the surface and then to reach Earth. The radioactive decay that helps to heat Earth's core would also stop, eventually causing a new ice age. This would also weaken our protective magnetic field, exposing us to solar radiation. Over time, this would slowly erode the atmosphere, turning Earth into a barren, lifeless planet just like Mars. Finally, Force 4, gravity, the attractive force that pulls things with mass toward each other. What would happen if you switched it off? Well, back on Earth, any object not fixed to the ground would appear to start floating upwards. And with no gravity holding the atmosphere down, the air would literally get sucked out your lungs as it floats away into space. But don't worry, you'll be fine in your pressurized space lab, right? Well, no. 8 minutes after you switch off gravity, you start to notice the sun getting bigger. The inward force of gravity in stars balances out the outward pressure of its core. But turn gravity off, and the enormous pressure violently ejects the sun's superheated plasma into space.
Alright, so now you see the 4 forces. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put those 4 forces in order for you so you can understand how it works when it comes to relationship and love. Alright, first you have gravity. Gravity is the attractive force. You know, it's what pulls you together. That means that gravity is always working. So if you trust Mother Nature, you just got to know that what is seeking you, you're also seeking. So what is it you're looking for? It's looking for you. So you just need to really go out there and live your life. You gotta have something you're looking for. Just go and live because gravity's pulling it to you. And then once gravity pulls it to you, then you got the electromagnetism, spark, electricity. You're gonna know when you like somebody or somebody likes you. This is internal. You can't help it. He can't help it. Like I told you before, men fall in love at first sight. Because once we see, we know. You're gonna have that spark. Opposites attract. Chemistry. That's what you're gonna get with electromagnetism. Now, once you meet the guy and some sparks fly, you need to actually be able to hold that relationship together. So you gotta find out what is it that's holding this relationship together. That's the strong force. With the strong force, it's the energy that binds stuff. It can't just be sex that keeps a relationship going. It can't just be status or money. No. There gotta be more to it. There gotta be trust. There gotta be respect. Because when you have those things, when you built your relationship correctly, you're going to have a strong force. Now, if you built your relationship incorrectly, then that's when that fourth force comes in, that weak force. Because remember, weak force is all about balancing. Without balance, things decay. So with weak force, if you built that relationship wrong, you know what's going to happen? It's going to fall apart. One night stands, a relationship that's built on just sex, it can't last. It has to be done correctly. It has to be done in the right order. Things got to be done the way it's supposed to be done. The way Mother Nature has made it. The way she intended to be. Okay. Now this is physics. And physics is external magic. We're talking about internal magic here. We're talking about internal, the things that's inside of you that you want to happen. Like you want a relationship. You want to build something with someone. And in order to do that, you gotta understand everything around you. You gotta understand the cycles. You gotta understand all this stuff. Because once you do, oh my God, it's gonna be so much easier. That's why I've insisted, and I hope you have done it, to do the homework, to do the workbook. It's in the description. Go and check the description. You're gonna see a link for that. Go ahead and do the homework. That's how you start off. Because we're gonna go deep in this stuff, and we're starting to. And I want to make sure that all you ladies actually understand this, because once the cycle starts, once you really open your eyes and start seeing what's around you, start seeing all the cycles and seeing all the physics and the internal magic and things happening, it's gonna be so much easier. So much easier. And right now, I'm sorry, media has lied to a lot of you ladies. It's not what you think it is. When you look at internet, you look at all the social media, you see all these people and celebrities living a certain kind of life, thinking a relationship is like that. No, it's not like that. Not at all. No, it's fake. It's a lie. But you got to do the homework. You got to do the work. You got to know. You got to know yourself. You got to know how to heal. So you got to start off with that. So go ahead and make sure that you download the workbook and do the work. Okay. All right, this is Kevin Carr signing off, and I'll see you next time.